What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Wrenching Wrecked. Move the ironhead again. So we will be jamming on this today, and I know I took a short little break from working on this thing, but yesterday was Thanksgiving, and the day before that was actually kind of warm, and I had the day off, so I got to mess around with this bike. It's starting way better. 1-2 kicks consistently. Now that we switched over the VM44 to a 38, made all the difference in the world in terms of startup, but we're having some issues riding. It was a little warmer on Wednesday, so I was able to putz this around for the first time. Starting up, taking throttle, it's doing all right in the garage, but road test, where it really counts, we're not so happy. So I did go through and start messing with some of it. Throttle cable was sticking, so we got the throttle linkage off. I got a hodgepodge of parts over there that I can make work. I also have a brand new throttle that I'm hoping should work better. This is what was on there, and if I run the old throttle setup that was hooked up to this 44 mil, we might be able to make it work. That's got a busted cable, so maybe I can just swap the cables out on the lids. We're gonna take a look. But that 44 mil ran really well once I finally got it running. This one is coughing and hiccuping and popping on me with whatever the jetting scenario inside of this is, so we're gonna have to address that. And then, what else? I was working on motors at the shop, so we got all this space over here. The bagger's tucked along the wall. Might have seen that in some of the other videos, but we got the 3 shovel heads over here. And in the course of going through and disassembling the 350 Chevy motor for inspection, I killed my electric impact. I run Makitas. I'm not sold on them. I don't think they're the greatest thing in the world, but you kind of run what you have, and then you get a bunch of batteries and tooling that's all the same. This is the electric impact driver. I put them through tons of abuse. The one at the shop was probably 3-4 years old. I'm not nice to them, so that died. I figured I'd run out and grab a new drill. I ended up splurging and spending more money than I should have, because just the tool I think was like 120 or 140 bucks. For 400 bucks, it's day after Thanksgiving, so Black Friday sales all month or whatever, but hit the old Home Depot. I got a kit with a lot of stuff. So I like the idea of having the cordless sander. I can use that at the shop all the time. And what else is in here? Impact driver that I needed to replace. So this is really the only one that I actually needed. This will come in handy. The little blower will come in handy up at the shop. But this also came with a 3/8 drive, which I don't have. A brushless little 3/8 drive. Very excited for that one. That's probably going to stay here. So I'm going to open this up, throw the batteries on the charger, and then we'll test out that little 3/8 driver. I think that'll be a lot more helpful for me up here. So, spent more money than I should have, but it's tools, and I guarantee you I'll use them now that I have them. So, when I come back, this mag... Oh, back to this. We got to play around with the inside of the carb and the jetting. Fix the throttle, maybe. I got new parts coming, so we might not get to the throttle today. But carb's going to come off. I'm going to dig through the ironhead bin, see if I have the lifter adjuster lock nut to replace that. And this mag got all loosey-goosey, so mag's coming off too. Again, we'll be back when those are blasted apart. All these tools that I don't really need. Some of them, I already have the reciprocating saw, I already have a circle saw. Oh well, the blower will be nice, but this little guy, brushless, it's kind of like the bonus. Here's the little one. This is definitely smaller. This I need to run a 3/8 chuck adapter, straight 3/8. This I will use all the time. I'm very excited for this. So open that up, got the batteries charging, got a wall of batteries over here, so I'll slap this on. Test out some new tools. I can't wait. Like a kid on Christmas. There we have it. Let me start jamming on this stupid ironhead. Not really a tool review guy, but to me, if I'm gonna spend 150 bucks on one tool, why not spend $400 on 6, 5, however many are in here, even though I don't need them. And at least I get another charger port. Can never have enough of those. Except for the 5 that are sitting in that bag that I never use. Oh well, back to bikes. Started out with the carb, got that off. Now, We got room to get to the mag. And hopefully this shows up a little bit on here, but base plate came loose, so we got a lot of wiggle here. So the sputter and the coughing, this could attribute to some of that for sure. But variations in timing do not help you when you're trying to set up a carburetor, especially when it wiggles and floats like that. There's a good chance I might just pull the mag out and then throw the carb and stuff back on once I get the throttle cable to not stick. That's the scary part. I took this out on the road yesterday for the first time, actual road out of the neighborhood, or Monday, or Wednesday rather, and pulled out on traffic, went to decel and bike kept pulling. I don't like doing that. It didn't noticeably stick on the slide, so I don't know if it's something internal in the cable that's binding up. I do have a new cable sitting around here somewhere too, but before we get into much more of the carb tuning, I gotta make sure the timing is set proper. That's the key. So I'll throw you guys on the tripod. 2 bolts on the mag, here and here. We'll loosen that, yank the mag, then we're gonna have to retime it again, but we got it set and it's firing up in 1 or 2 kicks, so it should just be a matter of getting it set back where it was. You can mark it too if you want and try and line everything up the way it's supposed to be. I don't really care. I'll just pop the cover off and retime the thing. It's not that hard. So yeah, Magneto's coming out. You helping? Loosey-goosey base plate. I have to snug those up. I'm gonna need a gasket on here for sure. She's leaky. That's unfortunate. Fix one oil leak, find another one. 'Tis the story of the ironhead, I guess. Let me wipe this down, clean this up. Hopefully I got a gasket somewhere around here. Looks like the O-ring in here is in pretty good shape. There's one down in the hole. Yay. I'll find a gasket. No luck on the gaskets, but I did dig through our bin of sporty motor. So it looks like a bunch of junk, but there is a complete motor in there. 79, I believe. We got some lifters. I'm gonna open this up and then I might honestly just steal an adjuster. We're gonna kind of see how that goes. Let me pop the covers off over here. We'll dig out the gasket a little bit later. But I almost forgot about this. It's gonna be much easier to go through this now while it's all apart. A lot more room to get in there when the mag's off, so we'll grab a 1/2 incher and seat this lifter back down, pull the push rod, and then kind of go through and figure out what's fixable or not. I don't know if I'm replacing the whole lifter yet or if I'm just going to do a sorry, trying to kick this over. I should just pull the plugs, huh? Make it easy on myself. Yeah, screw it. We'll just get this one out. There's enough adjustment here. Basically, I got to figure out if I want to replace the whole lifter with another one, or if I want to use the adjuster and only replace the adjuster. So there's that. Oh, then I guess I'm going to need a lifter block gasket too. Or isn't it just an O-ring? I think it's just an O-ring. Yeah, screw it. We'll pull the whole lifter out. Let's take a gander on the inside of this. Man, it's just never ending. Every time I get closer, more stuff's got to come apart. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Is that how that goes? Big old pile of parts on the floor here. Did I mention how much I love working on the ground? I'm sure somebody will complain about using a hammer on lifter blocks, but all we're doing is trying to move this off to the side, not really pound on the thing. There is a fancy tool for this too, I believe. Get these mag wires out of the way. Stay. Alright, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get this out politely. This thing's pretty seated on here, so let me get creative. Okay, so I'm just using a slight little punch here to shift this around. I'm not trying to lay into it all that much. So I'm going just on the lifter side here. Try and get some motion. Not ideal if you care about your bike, but I'm just trying to shimmy it over enough so I can get something underneath the edge of it. And for me, this is just fine. Gentle love taps. Normally these things just kind of shift over. There's a tool that slides underneath and you can pry up on them. I don't have that. Just seeing all the people yelling about this process on the comments. Oh well. I don't know why you're so heavy or stuck. Saw that one coming. So that's what you don't want to do, but that's okay. We're replacing this anyway. Sometimes you keep going on things when you know it's probably a bad idea. This is definitely one of them. Come on. Well, that's gonna be fun. Don't know if this is gonna work. Got myself into quite a doozy here. I was pissed when I broke this. Turn the camera off. Been staring at this for a minute trying to figure out what to do, but the lifter block separated itself, which you don't want to pry on them. I know better than that, but I'm not thinking. So normally what I'll do is take a dead blow and kind of pound these lifters off to the side and wiggle them, and it frees up the O-ring. Not so much the case today. I didn't wiggle it long enough before I started trying to pry on it. Cracked the face off the lifter, shot it across the shop, and here is the other side. Don't care about the parts because I plan on replacing them anyway, but this turned into a huge pain in the behind to fix. So now, this is probably a terrible idea and only going to make things worse. We got to get this off. So I threaded the tappet back in, and I threaded a regular bolt here. We need a way to pry up on this. So, I'm going to use a hammer. Not for bashing. Ideally, let me see if I got a steeper claw of some sort. And essentially, we're going to leverage off the case bolt. Hopefully that's strong enough. This is probably a really, really bad idea. If I say it's a bad idea, than it is. Kind of something like that. Maybe a shorter bolt. I don't really know what I'm doing at this juncture. I really don't want to have to pull the cam cover off. I don't want to pry straight onto the case. That's bad news. But I don't mind prying on a bolt. Maybe a shorter bolt. Remember when I said I was just going to take this out and put the adjuster in? That would have been a great idea. Now I'm in this whole predicament, and we got to figure out how to get out of a crappy situation. Completely avoidable. 100% my fault. Out of sheer stupidity and rushing. Drop this in here since we're most likely going to end up with metal shavings and chunks of things here. So I took the lifter out. The only issue with this now is it's going to want to drive this kind of on an angle. God, this is so stupid. So stupid. I don't think anything's good is going to come about from this. You know those times when you really wish you could go back and redo something? I don't think that's gonna work. Oh, damn it. I might have to pull this cam cover off. Oh. Huh. It moved a little bit. Still not the right way at all. Should have just waited till it was wiggling free before I started prying on it. We are getting a little bit of movement here, though. Grab another bolt. We might go a little farther on this because we're bending this for sure. This is most likely going to end up with me breaking a bolt in the case now, too. Then I get to figure out how to fix that as well. So we'll keep hardware fresh. Grade 8 would be nice. Maybe we can go even shorter. Just don't know what my range of leverage is here. Less thread showing means less bending, theoretically. But this kind of stops me. So the problem is when I go to a shorter bolt, I kind of lose some of the leverage. Come on. Don't like it. I don't like it at all. We need to have a bolt long enough to grab some meat of the case. But we are getting some movement here. Not the best, but we're about an 1/8 inch up now from where we were. So I think that's winning. Would have been really nice just to get this out in one piece. All right, back to the bolts. Literally just anticipating this in my head. Foreseeing all of the bad that can come about from doing it this way. We're literally taking something that wasn't that bad and turned it into a huge pain. But we're gonna keep going. Because I'm an idiot. Oh, we're coming up on the O-ring. And one destroyed lifter block. Neat. Oh. That was terrible. Don't do that. Don't sit there prying on your lifter blocks. I knew better too, that's the worst part. But sometimes you get in your own head and overlook things and then have to deal with it. Somehow this managed to come out. So, one lifter block, dead. This is what I was worried about. More the bolt breaking in here. Do not go prying on your aluminum cases either. That'll jack your stuff up real good. But there we have it. 2 bent bolts. Got the lifter out. Now we can move forward. So let me clean this up a little bit, get some of the WD-40 off of here, wipe all this crap down, and be back when the lifter's ready. Kind of like this better than the crusty chrome one anyway. However, I think they're the same. Should be. I don't have the little slots here, but that's okay. So we got the O-ring seal still. Got everything wiped down and cleaned up. Now we'll take our match set. So we're running this tappet, and then in theory we should be able to just wiggle this thing right in there. So lube this up a little bit. And this one's actually adjustable, so it should help. So, moral of the story, don't be an idiot and do what I just did. But, there we have it. New lifter block and tappet assembly are in. It was really just for entertainment, right? You guys tend to like it when I break things or mess things up. Or you yell at me in the comments, and that's perfectly fine too. But that was complete negligence and complete, utter stupidity on my part. I know better than that. I ignored myself and was trying to rush through it and do this quickly. And this is the result. So don't do that. Luckily, I did plan on replacing this. I knew we had some extras over there. We're still gonna have to, future me is still gonna have to replace one of these now. But we got that back in. So now, what do I want to do? Yeah, I don't know. My brain's kind of spent. That really, really hurt my brain. Sheer stupidity. Let me try and dig through the gasket bin and see if I got something for this mag. And then we'll throw the push rod back in, pull the plugs, because we're going to have to retime it, and get that rotated over, get the push rod in and adjusted. And then hopefully we didn't ruin anything too much. I don't know if there's a major difference on early style or late style lifters. Hopefully they're okay. We'll find out.